I love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drums begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light.
Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the World Tour, my World Tour. Welcome to the Glideslope channel. And today for leg 2 we're going from Milan to Athens on board this beautiful A300-600F. This is the freighter, converted freighter version of the A300. A venerable aircraft, still flies today. We often see it flying around Europe. Mainly operated by two major cargo companies working for DHL. And today we are at the DHL hub in Milan. Now, usually the flight I'm about to do is performed by a 757. We can actually see a couple of 757s next to this plane in a far off distance on this very apron. But yeah, today we're there. There are, see, 3 of them actually. I thought it was just 2. But today, well, I don't think you can actually see it because it's behind my dashboard. But still, it is there. Trust me, they're there. I'll show you in a moment. But today we're taking the A300. Now, this plane is pretty much on its last few legs. The A300 has been around for so long, and the parts are running low, and Airbus probably is not manufacturing any of those parts. So a lot of companies are just choosing to move aside the A300 and take either any remaining 757s, or there are some A330s being converted to freighter. Now, before we start, let me thank you guys for coming, and Drexy and Andrew, as always, my great companions here on the chat. And yeah, let's jump right into it. Here we are on the flight deck of the venerable A300, and here's Betsy, looking bright as usual. You can see the 757s right there. There they are. So these are the planes that usually operate the route I'm going to do. A couple more. I think these are 737s, like BCFs. I can barely see them from afar. I don't think we can zoom in. Nope. Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, definitely 737s, 737s, sorry, from Cargo Air. that operate the DHL, but the 757, these three are the main bulk of DHL flights in Europe. But the A300 still flies, and it also flies to Lisbon, by the way. And yeah, we're not going to Lisbon today, but we are going to Athens, and we're taking this beauty of a plane with us. And we are, like I said, on the DHL apron in Milan. How old school is that? All right, let's start this flight. First of all, we're going to turn on the batteries. We still got 3 batteries here, 1 and a 2 and a 3. And we are also going to connect the external power, give some power to the galley, and for now, we'll stick to that. Let me pick up my checklists here. So it's not the first time we fly the A300, but it's a plane that I've been dreading to fly because we had some severe WASM crashes. Hopefully everything is solved, but we never know. This is Inibuilds. So lots of checklists in my hand, none the one I want. Found it. Alright, A300 it is. I need to run the checklist because I keep flying different planes. I end up mixing procedures, which is never positive. Right, preliminary preparation. Batteries are set to auto mode, which is pushed in. Let's zoom out, much better, thank you. And we have the hydraulic panel right here. Everything is pushed in, except for the optional electric pumps, which will leave off for now. Wiper switches are set to off. Gear lever is down arondo. Slats and flaps handles, flaps 0 and the handle is set 0. Agreement. Reverser levers are down. Weather radar is off. It actually was, yeah, it's off. It's right here. It's that little switch there. APU fire test. Let's not do that. APU start. Let's start our APU right now. So we're going to set master switch to on. Wait for the fuel pump to turn off. There it is. And now we can start our APU. Emergency lights set to arm. IRS selector. Let's move them to nav. So we got three. We got 3 INS. 1, 2, and 3. And oxygen system both on. And on shader lights, let's test these. Pretty. So APU is starting. On shader light. Looking good. Looking good. And that's it. Preliminary preparation complete. Alright, let's set up the flight. Let's go here to our electronic flight bag. My flight plan. Import from Simbrief. Bam. Malpensa to, let's see if I don't murder this name, Eleftherios Venizelos International. That's Greece. Main airport in Athens. Alright, looks like we got good weather for both the departing and arrival. We're actually pretty hot in Milan, 34 degrees. QNH 1012. Winds are 230 at 4 knots, variable 140280. And we got very nice visibility of 90909, and that means it's gave up. But it's more than 10 nautical statute miles. Few clouds at 80, nothing to be 8,000 feet, nothing to be phoning home about. Alright, so we're going to leave it right there. And now let's check the ground equipment. Let's call GSX, tell them to load the
boarding requested.
And let's use AGS. Alright, here we go. Covers are removed. We got the GPU connected. Good. Alright, so don't think we need to do anything for now. Oh no, not this again. I'll just leave it with Lido charts for this flight because I don't want to take chances with that WASM crash we had earlier. All right, I think it's going to be able to perform main cargo door. Probably not, but we'll open the door for them. It's a big cargo hold. It has two layers. It's the main cargo hold, which is pretty much where the conversion from passenger to cargo was made. So it's a big, wide cabin available and converted to freighter, and also the lower, usually set for cargo crates, the lower section as well. And we are going to have some clipping here because this is scenery. These DHL crates are scenery, and of course GSX will need to maneuver in between them, so it's going to look funky. All right, looks good. Let's start operating our aircraft. So first of all, we need to align our IRSs. Actually, we need to load the flight plan. So bring this up. So we have LIMC to LGAV. Points cleared. LIMC /LGAV. Bam. And now we can align our IRSs, so we should be able to align as is, although its rule of thumb is to take a look at your chart to see where exactly you are, so you don't have discrepancies in alignments. But I've done this before with the current alignment, and it usually works. So let's go here to ACARS, AOC, pre-flight. Actually, we need to load the flight plan first. So give me a second. ACARS, Simbrief request, and there we go. Now we got everything set and done. So we got LMIC to LGAV correct, custom index 33, flight level 330. We'll take a look at that afterwards because I think, yes, we got step climb. We need to climb to flight level 340 at Kiget, whatever. Yeah, so now we go to here. We're going to request a pre-flight. Actually, we don't need a pre-flight. We need the AOC. Where's the pre-flight? So AOC. Pre-flight. Maybe it needs this. So ATC. Oh, we need to log on first. So LMIC as the ATC facility. LIMC. A little rusty on the A300, to be honest. To LGAV. We are at gate. Good question. I never know the gate. So we need to zoom out. We are at gate Bravo. Not Bravo. 863. Oh, it's written right there. 863. So 863. And let's take a look at Addis. We have 80s whiskey. So same conditions. 8130 at 4 knots. Scattered. Actually, it's a little different. Scattered at 9,000 feet now. So the weather changed since the flight plan was created. It's a good rule of thumb to check your 80s. So runway arrival and runway 35 right and departure 35 left. Transition level at 060. Alright, let's send. Request pre-departure clearance. Uncage the ADI. Good. We got new message. So we are cleared for LGAV runway 35 left departure via vRAAS 6 Alpha, climb via SID to 9,000 feet. So we need to load 8 is whiskey, when ready call 121.825. Alright, we'll comply, send, good. And let's keep this message here. Alright, so let's go to flight plan, LMIC, SID, so runway 35 Lima, via vRAAS 6 Alpha. Here we go, insert, got it. So we got a new message. FSM, MIC, CDA received, clearance confirmed. Alright. So we go back here. Squawk 6554. For that we need to go to tuning. And right here on ATC1, we're going to write 6554. Bam. And then we need to tune as we go. We can also do this here, but so pick cars menu, leave it like that. Alright, so that's done. Now we need to go to the initialization, and we need to get the weights in. So this is just visual, you can pick anything. Today we're going to take racing team. Alright. Import from update from Simbrief and apply load to the aircraft. Done. Now we're going to come down here. I'm going to set up the zero fuel weight. Oh, it's loading the fuel. Let's make it instant. Done. So zero fuel weight 127.4. And takeoff gross weight. Well, it's going to calculate it for us when you just need the block fuel. It's 19.57, so 19.6. And the takeoff gross weight is set. Now for the CG, we have max CG of 32.9er. Bam, done. Cruise is going to be set for now at flight level 330. We'll change to 340 as we request our step climb in flight. Alright, and I'm going to try CPDLC. I'm not sure if it works. Company message received, another one. Oh, it's just the one we can clear that. It was just the one I replied to. Alright, so we're now going to wait for all the cargo to be loaded, and of course going to wait for the all clear. We are already running on APU because it's part of the preliminary preparation for some reason. And we need to set up inner tank pump 2 switch to on. That's the only switch used by the CDU, the APU, sorry. Why did I not do the APU fire test? Because it's a loop system, it's going to play indefinitely, and it's really a boring thing to do. So, flight deck preparation. Electronic flight bag setup done. FMC initialization is performed. We have cleared the messages we have performed in it. Verified lat long. We also request Simbrief via ACARS. We set our init and align IRS. Let's go to our overhead panel. No smoking to on. Seatbelt signs. We're not carrying passengers today, but we will be carrying some crew. Hydraulic panel is already set. Servo control panel is also set. Flight recorder to ground control. Whoops. Flight record. Where is that? There it is. Ground control to on. External light, we are going to set our nav logo to 1. Wing light for inspection, and that's it for now. Landing switches are off. Wing switch is set on for inspection. Strobe switch set to auto. Beacon switch off. Runway turn off lights to off. ATS lever, pitch trim, yaw damper. To on. ATS on as well. And now we can set up our initial altitude, which will be 9,000. Done. Now let's go for our V speeds. For that we need to calculate our V speeds. So first things first, let's insert the wind data. We got 130 at 4. And we got OAT is 33. And our altimeter is 1012. Sync, calculate. So we got our flex temperature is 53, our V1 is 148, our VR is 163, V2 166, maximum takeoff weight is 170. We got a gross weight CG of 32.9er, and our trim setting was going to be 0.1 down. All right. So let's get to our performance page. And now we're going to set it up. So V1 is 148, 163, 148, 163. Now we're going to set our V2 166 over here. It's a little different from regular Airbuses. And our flex to temperature is going to be 53. So flex temperature set to 53. Done. That will give us an EPR target of 1.465. Our current temperature is a little 1 degree higher than what the ATS is saying, but should be all right. Should be a precise thing because 1 degree can make a lot of a difference, but still. So not first toga, flaps 15, 15, okay. So as for the trim is 0.1 up. So we have here for the flight control. Where's the trim? Good question. Do we only have it here? Because what am I doing here? Why can't I just look at my trim? Alright. So, trim 0. So somewhere over here. So 1, 1, 2, 3. That's it. So it looks like 0.5, so I'm going to put it there. More accurate in terms of what we need. Because that's the trim setting. 0.1 actually, not 3. This is 0. I would say it's just about there. Alright, so carrying on. Cabin pressure panel, window heater switches to on. These are the switches, and also probe heat. APU bleed should be on. Got APU running, and there's some air coming. So decision height. Press button. Set -5. Alright. And that's the preliminary. Oh, no, there's more. Flight deck prep continued. So I'm going to set the altimeter 1012. That's not it, this is it. 1012. Set. Checked. Let's go to standby. Done. Right, looks like we got ourselves aligned. Our IRS is aligned. Our cargo loaders are done as well. So we might as well just call it in. Tell GSX to start clearing the path.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
And auto brake switches are extinguished. Landing elevation. Set. Well, not yet. We really need to do that in flight. Speed brake retracted and disarmed. Fuel levers to off.
Departure check completed. Bypass pins inserted.
Performance is done. Flight plan is already preset. 0. Our initiation is done, as well as our weights are in, confirmed. Looks good. Set this to flight plan. And we're good to go. Alright, let's go here and close the cargo door. Apparently we need to do this manually on this plane.
Locking gear.
So let's set toga, which is one of these little buttons here. I don't know which one. This one. Alright, done. Toga set. Let's arm profile and nav. What are you doing, buddy? It just set itself to toga because I pressed the button. Alright, let's call in frequency ground. Alright, Betsy, you handle this one. Sound is off. Hello? Is this working? I didn't hear it. Face east. So we are going to face nose left. Nose left, tail right. So
Release parking brakes.
parking brake released.
Refueling for Mike Alpha, taxi via Echo Charlie, Delta Mike hold short of runway 35 left.
Taxi via Echo Charlie, Delta Mike, hold short of runway 35 left, fueling for Mike Alpha.
Royal Air Maroc 950 X-ray, via Alpha cross runway 35 left, taxi to stand 502 via Delta Mike, Delta Bravo Romeo.
All engines clear.
Via Alpha cross runway 35 left, taxi to stand 502 via Delta Mike, Delta Bravo, Romeo, Royal Air Maroc 950 X-ray.
All aircraft be advised information X-ray now current QNH 1012.
Looking at TN2 here. Once it reaches 20%, we will inject fuel. There it goes.
tracking brakes.
Turkish
Waiting for your
90
confirmation.
Quebec Heavy,
Hold engine
contact
start.
Maldense Tower 128.35.
Over to Tower 128.35, Turkish 90 Quebec Heavy.
Waiting for 20% on the end. Two. Ejecting. Well, almost 20%. Not sure why I lost my charts there. Okay, good engine start. This back to ignition off. And stop RAP here as well. Lead. We are good to go. Okay, quick set, seatbelt signs on. Before have to start checklists, normal operation. To ignition off, APU lead off, APU master switch off, and pitch trim set, rudder trim set 0.
Fueling 4 Mike Alpha, behind the departing Airbus via Alpha cross runway 35 left, behind, taxi to stand 504 via Delta Mike, Delta Bravo, Romeo.
Behind the departing Airbus via Alpha cross runway 35 left. Behind, taxi to stand 504 via Delta Mike, Delta Bravo,
Status
Romeo,
checked.
fueling
GIS
4 Mike
not
Alpha.
required. Let's call it in and say we have an engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Flaps 1550.
Unlocking gear.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy ready to taxi to the active.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, taxi to holding point Golf Whiskey, runway 35 left, via Hotel Alpha, Hotel Golf Yankee, Golf Whiskey.
Taxi to holding point Golf Whiskey, runway 35 left, via Hotel Alpha, Hotel Golf Yankee, Golf Whiskey, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Looks like we got 30 clearance. Just waiting for the ground equipment to move away. So I'm not worried about the charts right now because the runway is right over there, so it's really close to where we are right now. Not really worried, but I am going to need to take a look at what's going on with the charts. Have to. So taxi out, taxi clearance received, nose light set to taxi. Let's check the flight controls while we're here. Full deflection left, neutral, full deflection right, neutral, full pitch up, neutral, full pitch down, neutral, full weather left, neutral, full weather right, and neutral. Flight controls checked. Auto brakes set max. Transponder set to TIRA, weather radar 2 on. We'll do that during taxi. And we're going to press takeoff config in a moment. No memo, so we're good to go. Alright, let's taxi out. Working brake off. Track higher.
Swiss 7 Whiskey Alpha, taxi via Echo Charlie Delta Mike, hold short of runway 35 left. Taxi via Echo Charlie Delta Mike, hold short of runway 35 left, Swiss 7 Whiskey Alpha.
It's really a no-brainer of a taxi today.
Scandinavian 20 Whiskey, ramp Whiskey 651, request pushback. Scandinavian 20 Whiskey, Malpensa ground, pushback and engine start approved, face south. Pushback and engine start approved, face south, Scandinavian 20 Whiskey. Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, contact Malpensa Tower 128.35.
Over to Tower 128.35, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy.
Handling comms from now on. Thank you, Betsy. Right, we got everything set up. We're just going to do the before takeoff checklist real quick. Stop right here at the very rolling point. Right, let's turn on the weather radar. It's already set up. Flight controls have been checked. Performed. Yeah. V1, VR, and V2. So V1 is 148, VR is 163, V2 166. Flex the temperature is 53. Takeoff config. All set for takeoff. External lights are going to turn on for takeoff. We're going to turn on the landing lights. Strobe is set to auto. Transponder is set to TIRA. Auto brake is set to max and ignition to continuously light. Done. Before takeoff checklist. Well, really quickly once you turn on.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, ready for departure, runway 35 left.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, Malpensa Tower, wind 070 degrees 11 knots, runway 35 left, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Postman W Whiskey Tango 2.
No, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, cleared for takeoff, runway 35 left.
Clear for takeoff, runway 35 left, Postman Whiskey Tango 2. Keep forgetting about
Approaching 3-5 left.
Confirm 35 left.
On runway 35 left.
Confirm. Alright, there we go. Turbo goes on. Thrust set. Airspeed aligned.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, contact Milan radar 134.175.
131.175. Postman Whiskey Tango 1. Okay, board.
Negative Milan radar on 134.175.
134.175, Postman Whiskey Tango 1. 2, Whiskey Tango 2. Fire it on because I can't do multiple things at once. Speed check, flaps 50, slides 50. Continuous rewind off. Radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 with you, 3,800 feet, climbing for flight level 090.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, Milan radar, identified, climb flight level 160.
Climb flight level 160, Postman W Tango 2. Best day for sightseeing, but look at that. Still beautiful weather. Thanks to StrataWX. Speed check flaps up. Switch to standard. Tilting the radar, although I think it's not implemented yet.
Milan radar, Scandinavian 20 Whiskey, good evening, passing 2,200 feet, climbing to flight level 150.
Scandinavian 20 Whiskey, Milan radar, good evening, identified, climb flight level 190.
Climb flight level 190, Scandinavian 20 Whiskey.
Packs are on as they should. I didn't turn them off for takeoff, didn't think it was necessary. External light, no switch off. External lights when we turn off, left and right is off. NTI is not required. Ignition set normal. APU is off. Have to take off after above the line complete. Below the line now. Altimeter set standard above transition. Below 10,000, above 10,000 feet. External lights to retract and off. Seatbelt signs. This is a cargo flight. Let's turn it off. After takeoff checklist complete. Wow. Look at that amazing view.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, contact Milan radar 127.45, good day.
127.45, Postman Whiskey Tango 2. Milan radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 with you. Flight level 130, climbing for flight level 160.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, Milano radar identified, climb flight level 330.
Climb flight level 330, Postman Whiskey Tango 2.
Weather 4778, contact Oreo Tower 125.875.
Over to tower 125.875, weather 4778.
Kinda going into the soup here, but no significant weather. Picked up by the radar, so far so good. possibly go wrong?
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, contact Milan radar 135.455, good day.
135.455, Postman Whiskey Tango 2. Milan radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2, Heavy with you, flight level 160, climbing flight level 330.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, Milan radar identified.
weather today at Milan, northern Italy, so we just part of Milan here, no, actually Milan is here, so we are going eastbound, southeast towards Athens.
Launch at 40 Hotel Heavy, contact Milano radar 122.73.
Center on 122.73, launch at 40 Hotel Heavy.
Ryanair 7541, contact Milan radar 125.63.
Contact Milan radar 125.63, Ryanair 7541.
Now that I think of it, ever since I got Strata, I've not picked up any day with
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, contact Milano radar 127.45.
127.45, Postman Whiskey Tango 2. Milano radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 with you, flight level 190, climbing for flight level 330.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, Milano radar identified.
So, why have I been handed over to two different Milan radar? Well, it's sectors. It's supposed to be Milan East, Milan West, whatever, and it's divided in sectors. So we're just transitioning between sectors. It's not depicted on the charts, but it is there. Yeah. So this is a pain in the rear end.
Milano radar, Scandinavian 20 Whiskey, passing flight level 160, climbing to flight level 190.
Scandinavian 20 Whiskey, Milano radar identified, climb flight level 390.
Climb flight level 390, Scandinavian 20 Whiskey.
Right. So we are following vRAAS 6 Alpha. 130.73 Postman Whiskey Tango 2. Milan radar Postman Whiskey Tango 2 climbing flight level 230 to flight level 330.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy Milan radar identified. Ryanair 725 Tango, contact Oreo Tower 125.875, good day. Over to Tower 125.875, Ryanair 725 Tango.
So we're almost skimming the top layer. I think we'll reach to it. Let's see.
Volotia 9 is Delta Delta, cleared direct Lhasa, cross Lhasa Vector above 4,000 feet, cleared ILS uniform approach runway 28.
Cleared direct Lhasa, cross Lhasa Vector above 4,000 feet, cleared ILS uniform approach runway 28, Volotia 9 Delta Delta.
You know, I live in the top of a mountain, and sometimes the clouds are right at our ground level here, and it's amazing to see. I mean, you can literally.
Good evening, Milano radar, Ryanair 7 uniform Victor passing flight level 283, descending to 9,000 feet.
It's very. What's going on?
Ryanair 7 uniform Victor Milano radar identified.
It's not following nav. What's wrong there, buddy? Why was this engaged? Why? I didn't touch anything. That was weird. Autopilot was disengaged, but no warning. Very odd indeed. Why was it disengaging? Not even a warning was sent out. If I had inadvertently pressed a button to turn off autopilot, I would need to press it twice to confirm. If not, the autopilot will continuously blare, even if when I was outside, in the outside view. When I got back in, it would still be blaring. Not sure what happened there. It's not the first time this has happened. I think there could be something with the chase plane, the way it switches between cameras. There could be some inadvertent key press. But I make sure
Volotia 9 Delta Delta, contact Oreo Tower 125.875, bye-bye.
Over to Tower 125.875, Volotia 9 Delta Delta.
Milano radar, Ryanair 64 Hotel Echo, passing 4,100 feet, climbing to 10,000 feet. Ryanair 64 Hotel Echo, Milano radar identified, continue climb to flight level 100. Continue climb to flight level 100, Ryanair 64 Hotel Echo.
Flight level 100 doesn't exist, guys. It's 100. I mean, I never heard, doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, that instead of saying 100 they say 100. But that's not how we learn about phonetics in aviation. Oh, I forgot this thing doesn't have any covers, any blinds on the side panels there. Yeah, this plane could have been updated. Window doesn't open. Lots of features in here, including the cabin, are not as prime as the A350 or the A340. Inibuilds really let this one go. They developed this plane for Microsoft 2020, Flight Sim 2020, and they upgraded it to 2024 with two variants. There's one compatible variant, which is basically the 2020 that you can import.
Ryanair 64 Hotel Echo, contact Milano radar 127.45.
Premium.
Contact Milano radar 127.45, Ryanair 64 Hotel Echo.
And honestly, I don't think there's much of a difference in terms of interactions. I think you can interact with a few things that you cannot on the 2020, but that's about it.
Milano radar with Malta 625 passing 7,900 feet, descending to 5,000 feet.
But in terms of art,
With Malta 625, Milano radar identified.
none of this rear panel works, none of the circuit breakers work, the windows don't open, the cabin is not interactive at all. Lots of stuff missing on this plane, which is a shame because, you know, it's sold as a premium aircraft. I mean, you can fly it very well.
Ryanair 7 Uniform Victor, cross Papa Apple above flight level 090, then descend to 6,000 feet, QNH 1012.
But this is
Cross Papa Apple above flight level 090, then descend to 6,000 feet, QNH 1012, Ryanair 7 Uniform Victor.
Planes like the 350, the
Milano radar, Yoga 002, passing 8,000 feet, climbing to flight level 163.
I wouldn't call it a scam,
Continue climb to flight level
it's
163.
disheartening.
Continue climb to flight level 163, Yoga 002.
Thank you, Betsy. Always helpful. Okay, so we got temperature in icing range, so we're gonna turn on the engine anti-ice.
With Malta 625, descend to 3,500 feet.
Descend to 3,500 feet with Malta 625.
Milano radar, Ryanair 64 Hotel Echo, flight level 115.
There's some clouds there.
Ryanair 64 Hotel Echo, Milano radar identified.
Turn on the wing anti-ice as well.
Whiskey Tango to heavy, contact Padova radar 132.86, good day.
Contact Padova radar 132.86, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy.
To Padova.
Padova radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, passing flight level 288, climbing to flight level 330.
Postman Whiskey Tango to heavy, Padova radar identified.
Padova sounds like Indian, doesn't it? I can assure you Padova is in Italy, not India. Passing to some soup. Some bright colors here as we break the cloud layer.
Padova radar with Malta 1 Lima, November, passing flight level 211, climbing to flight level 234. With Malta 1 Lima, November, Padova radar identified.
We gotta play the locus.
Lufthansa 3 Alpha Kilo, contact Padova radar 130.525.
Contact Padova radar 130.525, Lufthansa 3 Alpha Kilo.
Well, the fact you got TAT in icing range doesn't mean you do have ice, but if you're going to cross clouds, that's water, condensed water, so if TAT is a freezing point, you might as well turn on the anti-ice. Usually only the engine anti-ice is required for these types of situations, but
Contact Padova radar 133.705,
wing forms anywhere on the aircraft when there's a surface breaking the
Padova
wind, so
radar, Postman
might as well
Whiskey
turn
Tango
on
2
for the
heavy,
wings as
passing
well.
flight level 302, climbing to flight level 330.
As well as long as the detector is still detecting
Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, Padova radar
freezing point, so we're below 2 degrees at TAT. When crossing clouds, most likely it will form ice crystals. So don't take chances. is a realistic behavior. One pilot flies, the other monitors. So, assuming I'm pilot flying, my eyes are on the instruments and looking outside. The co-pilot also has its eyes on instruments and maybe handle comms. It's, you know, multi-crew operation is a set of agreements, like contracts, that you establish with your co-pilot. Companies establish that contract with what they call SOPs, Standard Operating Procedures. Pilots need to train using those SOPs so that they, and also, of course, with multi-crew training, and that will set up like decision making. So, for example, there are some items that's the captain decision to perform it or not, such as go-arounds, missed approaches, basically. Anything that demands, you know, a higher authority to decide. But there are many other items which are the responsibility of either the captain or the co-pilot, as pilot not flying. And most of the times, if I'm flying the plane, I'll hand over comms to the pilot not flying, and vice versa. So if I'm not flying, he will handle the comms to me. Of course, some captains decide to do the comms themselves for whatever reason. They decide as such, but there are SOPs that demand that the pilot flying has a responsibility, which could be the captain or the co-pilot, and the pilot not flying have other areas of responsibility. So when you see me forgetting something, like forgetting to launch the clock, forgetting to turn off the lights or turn them on, stuff like that, it's basically because these planes are complex machines designed for multi-crew, designed for more than one pilot to operate. And if you guys follow me, you know how easy it is to forget stuff. And I usually do forget stuff. And that by itself is a good demonstration why a single pilot flight will never work. So when you hear people like Mr. O'Leary, the president or CEO of Ryanair, saying that he wants to implement a single pilot crew, single pilot in the cockpit, plus a flight attendant with flight experience to aid, that's ludicrous, right? That's an invitation for disaster. And I sincerely hope no one listens to that man. You also wanted to have standing passengers on board, so people standing instead of seating. So yeah, I know Ryanair is innovative in many ways. They've pretty much opened the routes for low-cost airlines. They opened a lot of created a lot of new stuff to make low-cost airlines prevail, but at the same time, and I understand that with all that, sometimes some crazy ideas need to be had, but not this. Single pilot crews are absolutely out of this world. I'm flying a virtual environment, which is control. I'm sitting in my chair in my office. I'm not really up there flying. I'm not risking my life. And I do commit mistakes relaxed. Now imagine a pilot under stress for time schedules, for company policy, something he doesn't agree with, is under pressure to arrive on time. Maybe he needs to get home pretty fast because we have TCAS warning. I don't see anybody. There it is. That was pretty close. But I don't hear TCAS. I don't hear TCAS at all. Where's the volume for auto? It's probably on the audio panel, but this should be an independent thing.
Good evening, Padova radar, Wizard 3 Lima Bravo, flight level 327.
Wizard 3 Lima Bravo, Padova radar identified.
I need to check. I didn't hear any TCAS warnings. I just looked down and saw the TCAS red warning here. I gotta read about it. Maybe another bug. The A300 has a lot of bugs that Inibuilds didn't solve yet.
Padova radar, Alpine 74 Bravo uniform, passing flight level 332, descending to flight level 150.
We are now in north
Alpine 74
Italy.
Bravo uniform, Padova radar
central,
identified.
North and central Italy. So we're going to cross the Mediterranean Sea here. This probably has another name, but it is part of the Mediterranean though. When we reach this area here, right next to Bosnia,
Padova radar, Ryanair 67 Juliet Golf, flight level 226.
Start my planning.
Ryanair 67 Juliet Golf, Padova radar identified.
Oh, by the way, we need to request our step climb. Almost forgetting. So we need to do that by KeyGAT, which is the next one. So let's call it in. Padova radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2, request flight level 340. Not going to be given.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, confirm new altitude 3,400 feet.
Negative, flight level 340, Postman Whiskey Tango 2. Yes. Padova radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2, request flight level 340. Gotta articulate.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, unable, your flight is to the southeast and flight level 340 is an even numbered flight level. Please pick an odd altitude.
Flight level 350, Postman Whiskey Tango 2.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, roger, climb flight level 350.
Climb flight level 350, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Betsy. Thank you. Right, let's go 350. I want to get above these clouds, because we're surfing the clouds right now. We are in icing range, so let's not take chances. Read about the A300 TCAS audio. I didn't hear absolutely anything from the TCAS.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, contact Padova radar 136.465.
Contact Padova radar 136.465, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy.
So, apparently...
Padova radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, good evening, passing flight level 339, climbing to flight level 350, direct Keached.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, Padova radar identified, continue climb to flight level 350.
Continue climb to flight level 350, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy.
Tango. I need to read further on this, but apparently there are some other people complaining about that, so we are no longer in nice conditions. We can turn off the NTI system, and we are also above the clouds, so new cruise flight level 350. Thank you. This will save us some more fuel. We should need to descend to at least go to 330. That's a bridge we'll cross once we get there. So we will get there at 1829. So in about 7 minutes. 6 minutes, sorry. Right after this waypoint. I think I'm going to hold it till Garza. Not trying to descend just yet. In fact, we don't even need to descend. I'm not sure why sometimes Simbrief does that. So very close climb and descent waypoints. And about this time we're going to time accelerate this a little bit. Let's go 4 times compression. I think it can handle. Looks like we are encountering another silent pocket. This happens a lot with beyond ATC. All of a sudden, there's no traffic around us. But there's a lot of aircraft around us. We are just not in a sector where comms are being handled right now. But there's actually a plane right next to us. So this is the Mediterranean waters, but this is called the Adriatic Sea. So my bad. And thank you, Bob, whoever you are, send me a message on Discord. It's the Adriatic Sea. Written on a map? Really? I didn't say that. Where is it written on a map? There's nothing here called a
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, contact Roma radar 132.84.
Contact Roma radar 132.84, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, bye-bye. Roma radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, flight level 350.
Maybe I'm too obtuse, but where is it saying?
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, Roma radar identified. Ryanair 11 Yankee Foxtrot, cleared Axuta 1 Golf arrival, runway 08.
Cleared Axuta 1 Golf arrival, runway 08, Ryanair 11 Yankee Foxtrot.
It Aero 165, contact Roma radar 124.8.
Center on 124.8, Itaro 165, have a good evening.
Say Adriatic Sea anywhere, buddy. These blobs are weather formations, by the way. And as you can see, there's a weird looking pattern. This is how Microsoft
Roma radar,
flight simulators
EZ903, Whiskey Mike, good evening, flight level 390.
And no, man, unless it's in a different layer.
EZ903 Whiskey Mike, Roma radar identified.
Default. Let's try the default.
Blue scan 175, contact Roma radar 127.125.
Center 127.125,
Same thing, man, I
Blue
don't
scan
see
175, have a good evening.
It's called Adriatic Sea here. Terrain, maybe.
Roma radar, Aero Italy 2363,
Maybe it's your map, maybe you got a better map than I do.
Aero Italia 233,
thanks anyway.
Roma radar identified. Continue climb to flight level 380.
Continue climb to flight level 380, Aero Italia 2363.
No, this is not the just flight
radar 135.455.
This is the Inibuilds A300, the just flight one, fully analog. And I believe would have IMS guidance.
Ready for descent.
No PFDs and NDs or ECAMs.
Descend to 4,000 feet, QNH 1013. Descend to 4,000 feet, QNH 1013, hit arrow 1639er.
So no, this is the Inibuilds 1.
Alpine 74 Bravo uniform,
this
contact
is the
Roma radar 124.2
premium for flight
Center 124.2 Alpine 74 Bravo uniform. Have a good evening.
It uses the MFS 2024 visual and flight model, but like I was saying earlier, anything regarding simulation is pretty much FS 2020 standards. A lot of stuff is not really working.
Dream Team 768 Hotel, contact Roma radar 134.78, good day.
Center 134.78, Dream Team 768 Hotel.
Roma radar, enter 6 Lima Juliet, flight level 350.
Enter 6 Lima Juliet, Roma radar identified. Enter 6 Lima Juliet, cleared Roses 3 November, arrival runway 07.
Cleared Roses 3 November, arrival runway 07, enter 6 Lima Juliet.
Ryanair 3 Lima Echo, cleared Luxor 2 Romeo, arrival runway 13.
Cleared Luxor 2 Romeo, arrival runway 13, Ryanair 3 Lima Echo.
Ryanair 32 Sierra Charlie, reduce speed 270 knots.
Reduce speed 270 knots. Ryanair 32 Sierra Charlie.
Ryanair 11 Yankee Foxtrot, contact Roma radar 132.855, have a good evening.
Center on 132.855, Ryanair 11 Yankee Foxtrot.
Modern Airbuses, there's usually a little
Ryanair 3 Lima Echo, report ready for descent.
Ready for descent, Ryanair 3 Lima Echo.
Oh, this is it.
Ryanair 3 Lima Echo, descend to 9,000 feet, QNH 1013.
Descend to 9,000 feet, QNH 1013, Ryanair 3 Lima Echo.
Hit arrow 1639er, contact Roma radar 131.2, bye-bye.
Contact Roma radar 131.2, hit arrow 1639er.
Tops West 83 uniform Foxtrot, report ready for descent.
Ready for descent, Tops West 83 Foxtrot.
Tops West 83 uniform Foxtrot, descend to flight level 130.
Most like in this car.
Descend to flight level 130, Tops West 83 uniform Foxtrot.
That's great. So that's on the right side, that's Italy. On the left side is now
Roma radar
Bosnia.
121.315, good day.
Contact Roma radar 121.315, Ryanair 650 Delta.
Set this to my time. Not even here is written Adriatic Sea, so I don't know where that guy is looking at.
Ryanair 3 Lima Echo, contact Brindisi radar 128.3.
Contact Brindisi radar 128.3, Ryanair 3 Lima Echo.
Enter 6 Lima Juliet, report ready for descent.
Ready for descent, enter 6 Lima Juliet.
Enter 6 Lima Juliet, descend to 8,000 feet, QNH 1014.
Descend to 8,000 feet, QNH 1014, enter 6 Lima Juliet.
Ryanair 909 Juliet Hotel, cleared Arbon 3 Charlie, arrival runway 28.
Cleared Arbon 3 Charlie, arrival
So first of all, I'll
runway
pick
28,
up
Ryanair 909 Juliet
check
Hotel.
out the routing.
Reunion 907
So we're
for heavy
expecting
contact
runway
Roma radar
03
121.315, bye-bye.
Contact Roma radar 121.315. Reunion 907 for heavy, bye-bye.
Ryanair 2 Zulu Mike cleared Rosas 3 November arrival, runway 07.
Cleared Rosas, 3 November arrival, runway 07, Ryanair 2 Zulu Mike.
ILS Zulu.
Tango Charlie Oscar Romeo Kilo, cleared Pelic 4 Foxtrot arrival, runway 12.
Clear Pelic 4 Foxtrot arrival, runway 12, Tango Charlie Oscar Romeo Kilo.
Oh, he doesn't.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, contact Brindisi radar 128.3, bye-bye.
Center on 128.3, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy.
There we go.
Brindisi radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, flight level 350.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, Brindisi radar, identified.
So it's going to be the one Quebec. This one. Alright, let's go check the transitions. For that we need a chart. So let's see. Arrival.
Brindisi radar, Chanix 3 Bravo Delta, flight level 390.
Sorky 1 Quebec.
Chanix 3 Bravo Delta, Brindisi radar, identified.
Where's Sorky? There it is, Sorky. Going all the way down. Then going to Aegina. ADF.
Brindisi radar Alpine 76 Echo Alpha, good evening, flight level 350.
To the ILS now.
Alpine 76 Echo Alpha, Brindisi radar, identified.
Yeah, 3 Romeo. Okay,
Brindisi radar, Agent 652, flight level 360.
So 3 Romeo, low ILS Zulu.
Aegean 652, Brindisi radar, identified.
All the other ones as well. Eliminate if not needed. Alright. So as for the ILS Zulu, we're coming out of Pelag. No, we're coming out of Aegina. So EGN, that's our transition. Done. Please don't crash, please don't crash. Ah, didn't crash. Thank you. Thank you so much, Inibuilds. Thank you so much, Inibuilds.
Brindisi radar, Aegean 3 Lima Golf, flight level 370.
This is what we're hoping to get.
Aegean 3 Lima Golf, Brindisi radar, identified.
Approach when we
Cedar Jet 224, contact Athene radar 125.985.
Contact Athene radar 125.985, Cedar Jet 224.
040 at 8 knots, KVOC 25
Ryanair 3 Lima Echo, cross BR 429 at or above flight level 090, then descend to 4,500 feet, QNH 1013.
Cross BR 429 at or above flight level 090, then descend to 4,500 feet, QNH 1013, Ryanair 3 Lima Echo.
03 left. It's no big deal.
Ryanair 3 Lima Echo, contact Brindisi approach 133.025.
So,
contact Brindisi approach 133.025, Ryanair 3 Lima Echo.
let's pick the ILS Zulu.
Alpine 36907, contact Athene radar 125.985.
Contact Athene radar 125.985, Alpine 36907.
So Aegina.
Brindisi radar, Chanix 87
ILS
Hotel
is
Golf,
110
flight level 370.
Chanix 87 Hotel Golf, Brindisi radar, identified.
course is 032.
Brindisi radar at Arrow 1639er, passing flight level 156, descending to 4,000 feet.
He is believing that it's
Arrow
going to be
1639er, Brindisi radar
As
identified.
for the decision height,
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, contact Toronto Control 127.5.
approach, let's go
Center
for
127.5, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, good day. Toronto Control, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, good evening, flight level 350.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, Toronto Control, identified.
Arrival. So MDA is 455. Done. And we're going to land
Ryanair
flaps
18 from Bravo, contact up on the radar 134.325, good day.
Yep, is
Center on 134.325, Ryanair 8 Uniform Bravo.
Let's land with full flaps. This is a heavy jet. Alright, done. As for landing altitude, runway elevation is 9er. So I'm gonna set 50. Yeah, that's good. Good enough.
Archer 743, contact Boulevard Center 123.775.
Center on 123.775, Archer 743.
Now let's hope that we get our proper approach. So this is Tirana airspace. Then we enter Greece airspace. Hopefully before that we'll get our clearance, because our top of descent is right after Picos, right there. So here's hoping. It's time to accelerate again.
Toronto Control, Speedboat 33 Alpha, good evening, flight level 359er.
Speedboat 33 Alpha, Toronto Control, identified.
I will of course turn off time compression if I'm getting my clearance, because I need to confirm the data. That should happen right after passing Picos.
Good evening, flight level 378.
So the next two waypoints. After the
Swiss
next two
Alpha
waypoints, we
Toronto
might
Control,
get the
identified.
descent clearance. This is our cargo. As you can see, we're carrying 2 Formula cars. Pretty cool. Of course, this is just for show. The cargo is set by external numbers, not by what you insert on the cargo bay.
Toronto Control, Vista Jet 741, flight level 399er.
Vista Jet 741, Toronto Control, identified.
Not sure. Oh yeah. Love that camera. If we have that camera, then we'll probably the belly cam as well. Side cam, sorry guys. Yeah, there it is, belly cam. Alright, we're about 2/3 of our flight. Up on a right-hand turn.
Ryanair 1 Bravo, contact Belgrade Center 123.775.
TAT on nice
Center on
range.
123.775,
We are
Ryanair 1
not
Bravo,
seeing
good
any
day.
clouds ahead. Our radar is also clean, but still, if we do see clouds ahead, we'll turn on the NTI system. Why not have it on all the time? Well, it bleeds air from the engines, and it actually causes a little more
Postman Whiskey Tango 2
power
Heavy,
to run.
contact Macedonia, radar 133.88.
Center on 133.88, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy.
There we go.
Macadamia radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, flight level 350.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, Macadamia radar, identified.
Let's see if we get a handover. Not the handover, the clearance, I mean.
Eugene 873, cleared 01 Quebec arrival, runway 03 left. Cleared 01 Quebec arrival, runway 03 left. Eugene 873.
That's 03 left, that's probably Athens, so that is the arrival runway. We just need the proper clearance for that.
My jet 648, contact her on the control 127.5.
Contact her on the control 127.5, my jet 648, good day.
Macadamia radar, allow 325 heavy, good evening, flight level 360.
Allow 325 heavy, Macadamia radar, identified.
Still waiting for that clearance.
Eugene 873, report ready for descent. Ready for descent, Eugene 873. Eugene 873, descent to flight level 120. Descent to flight level 120, Eugene 873. Condor 5, Mike Yankee, contacts copy radar 119.375.
Center on 119.375, Condor 5, Mike Yankee, bye-bye.
I decelerated timing, believing that we'll be giving the clearance, but not yet. I wish I could turn this light off. Which one is it? Map light? Yeah, because that was reflecting here on my EFB. You see this glitch here? Apparently this glitch is apparent partner redundancy. That glitch on some instruments is apparently a thing.
873, contact Macadamia radar 132.375.
If you're just updated to SU6, you'll probably see this type of errors happening in some instruments. Last flight we saw the Phoenix INS panel glitching like that. Actually it was pretty worse because he couldn't read anything. It was the INS screen, so this screen here. That's happening on the Phoenix right now. They will probably fix that.
Egypt 776, contact the radar 131.33.
Center on 131.33, Egypt 776.
Not long now. We're just waiting for the clearance. Come on, ATC. Don't leave us hanging. 80 nautical miles from our TOD, sorry, top of descent, not top of climb.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, cleared Jockey 1 Quebec arrival, runway 03 left.
That's the one. Clear to Sarky 1 Quebec arrival, runway 03 left, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy. Nice. Good thing I read the 80s. That's what the 80s is there for, basically. I mean, it's a little far off. Most of the times you would listen to 80s via radio, and we're very far to actually be able to hear it. But if you have digital 80s like we have here, then why not? You can also come here to your ACARS AOC and get the 80s from here. So let's do that. So let's get the 80s for LGAV, and there it is. So you can also get the 80s here. So that's why I was reading from here, because I know that it's the exact same thing. It's just picked up from here. Of course, this is a shortcut. This is how it's actually done, but
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, contact Macedon radar 125.355.
Contact Macedon radar 125.355, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy. Macedon radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, flight level 350.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, Macedon radar identified.
So, bye Drexy, see you later. So in a lot of ways, Beyond ATC forces some stuff that's not really how it's done in real life. It's going to force us to descend before our top of descent. It doesn't need to be like that. Most of the times pilot can call in and say we are approaching our top of descent, request lower, and then ATC will give you a lower altitude. But Beyond ATC is adamant at giving its own profile. So what you can do is just descend in a controlled or open descent.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, report ready for descent.
And if I now acknowledge...
Wilco Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy.
If I now wait a few seconds, it will just force me to descend regardless. If that happens, you can just go on an open descent. You can acknowledge your descent, go to an open descent, and wait for VNAV to catch up. That's basically what you can do. That's what we usually do on Airbuses anyway. We go on open descent until it captures VNAV, and then it will go on managed descent. That's how it should be done. This is an older Airbus, of course, but it will do the same, don't worry. And the same applies to all aircraft, even on the Airbus A220 that I recently flew. That's the way you do it. Although, now I've noticed that Synaptic will be launching an update to correct that, because previously the plane would just go nuts and the top of descent will just go forward endlessly. Now it will eventually recapture TOD and descent. So that's been fixed. In any case, let's go ready for descent. So let's take off Betsy. Macedonia radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, ready for descent.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, descent to flight level 120.
Descent flight level 120, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy. So, again.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, maintain 270 knots.
Maintain 270 knots, Postman Whiskey Tango 2. So, we'll go profile. And now it's going to start descending. And now we're going to bring up the airspeed. And maintain 270 knots.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, resume normal speed.
Resume normal speed, Postman Whiskey Tango 2. Hello. And now we're descending. Actually, I don't want to descend this fast. Let's do descend. 10. It's better. It's better. So as for the charts, let's go to the pins here. Still not really sure which one of these will be, but we are picking up the Zulu. So we are supposed to come out of PCAT.
Making a radar, Channel 6 Victor Delta, flight level 390.
Then at PCAT, then
Channel 6 Victor Delta, making a radar identified.
Sorry, Sorky.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 ready. Contact Macedonia radar 132.375. Have a good evening.
132.375. Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy. Bye bye. Macedonia radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy with you, flight level 320, descending to flight level 120.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, Macedonia radar identified.
Good.
EGN 873, maintain 240 knots.
Maintain 240 knots,
So
EGN
we're coming out of
873.
Aegina, and then we get this initial RNAV approach.
Visa 4742, contact Macedonia radar 133.575, good day.
Localizer approach.
Center on 133.575 with a 4742, good day.
To ILS approach. Well, let's go now to profile descent. Because we are above, or actually below the vertical deviation. So this is the equivalent of the VNAV on other aircraft. It's just called vertical deviation, but it's pretty much the same. Instead of LNAV or lateral navigation, it will say lateral deviation or HDEV or horizontal deviation or lateral deviation. But it's the same thing as VNAV and LNAV. It's just Airbus trying to call it differently so it can distinguish itself from Boeing, I suppose. And it works. I mean, it works. All there is. So, no clouds yet, no turbulence detected. So even though we are in icing range, we will not be turning on the anti-ice.
EGN 873, reduce speed 270 knots.
Reduce speed 270 knots, EGN 873.
So beyond ETC still has a
EG
few
5902,
issues
clear the Copa 1 X-ray arrival, runway 34.
with
Clear the Copa 1 X-ray arrival, runway 34,
traffic
EGN 5902.
separation. We've seen a couple of issues today. We've seen the TCAS warning of an airplane just crossing our path. Very close. In other flights, we've seen how separating slow traffic is a pain for beyond ATC.
EGN 853, Macedonia radar identified.
It often, when vectored, it often just drops you too high or too fast or too slow or whatever. And then there will be traffic in the pattern and most likely you will have to go around. And that has happened way too often. It used to be very smooth. But you know, they're trying their best to keep up with real traffic
EGN
injection.
5902, descend via start to 6,000 feet, QNH 1012.
Descend via start to 6,000 feet, QNH 1012, EGN 5902.
Radar down. Again, I'm not sure if tilting works on this plane. Pretty sure it doesn't. It's a very recent feature for Flight Sim 2024, and I don't see Inibuilds implementing that on the other aircraft, much less the A300. It's the least updated aircraft from Inibuilds right now.
Radar Air Serbia 14 Alpha, passing flight level 269, are climbing to flight level 300.
The A340 right now is the least updated aircraft of them all. And the A350 is right next to it. Because Inibuilds has just been busy. They've been busy with the A380 and with Alpine Synaptic with their A220. So they've been busy. And so right now, the A300 has actually received a few updates because it had a very nasty WASM crash. We actually witnessed it twice during a live stream. I had to remove those 2 flights. It was just too bad.
Air Serbia 14 Alpha, contact Macedonia radar 133.655.
So the A300 has been updated. So the least updated plane right now would be the A340. The L1011 also got an update not so long ago, and I remember the A350 also getting a little update. So the 340 right now is the oldest version. So it's not the least updated overall. It's just the one that's been updated.
Have a good evening.
Not been updated.
Contact Airliner Control 127.5, Turkish 215 Heavy, good day.
I think there are no major issues with those planes, so I think everything is running. But to be honest, I've not flown them in quite some time. I will be flying them on this world tour, so we'll see. Now we're coming up on the managed descent right here. So the profile will pick up and the plane will nose down. There it is, to keep up with the vertical profile. You see there, we were at 1,000 feet per minute. Now we're at 2,000 feet. So the plane is keeping up with the vertical profile as it should, while trying to keep the preset speed, which currently is set at 286 or something knots. This is calculated by, when you see those 3 stripes, this is calculated by the FMC. Not FMC, the FMS, sorry.
Aegean 853, descend via start to 3,000 feet, QNH 1014. Descend via start to 3,000 feet,
and another acronym that's not the same between Airbus and Boeing. So in Boeing you say FMS, 5 minutes from the computer, but on the Airbus you say FMGS. Same thing, just a different acronym to distinguish itself. And don't you think it's like a question of ego or something? Airbus needs to call everything differently. Every airline tries to do the same, or most of the airlines try to do the same. Sorry, not the airline. I mean the manufacturer. You just don't want to, you don't want to get into trouble with Boeing or any other company by calling it something similar. And if Boeing patent these things, of course they own the rights of the acronyms themselves.
Postman, Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, descend to 8,000 feet, QNH 1014.
Descend 8,000 feet, QNH 1014, Postman, Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy. Did he say 8 or 7? 8, yeah. So our transition altitude in Milan is 090. So we have a deceleration here, that's why the plane nosed up a little bit so it can decel. But because it needs to keep up, I'm going to need to deploy flap, slab, speed brakes away. Let's put it halfway. So it needs to come back here to that regular speed there. That's the blue line there. You're kind of used to seeing a magenta triangle, right?
Macedonia radar, EGN 807, good evening, passing flight level 158, descending to 3,000 feet.
EGN 807, Macedonia radar identified.
Some speed recovered, let's put it back in. That's Athens right there. During the daytime, depending on the approach,
Postman Whiskey Tango to heavy, cross out 503 at or above 8,000 feet, then descend to 3,000 feet.
Acropolis. What was that? Cross AV 503 at or above 8,000, then descend to 3,000 feet, Postman Whiskey Tango to heavy. So plane will follow the constraints here. As long as it's in profile, it will follow the constraints. So let's bring some more sound from the simulator here. Better. You can also turn on the seatbelt signs, although today we will not have any passengers.
Postman Whiskey Tango to heavy, contact Athens radar 125.2, bye-bye.
125.2, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy.
Negative, Athens radar on 125.2.
That's what I said. 125.2, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy. 99 radar, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy with you, descending flight level 150 to 3,000 feet.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, Athens radar identified. Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, contact Athens arrival 132.975.
There it is, there's the Acropolis. Contact Athens arrival 132.975, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy. Arrival Postman Whiskey 2 Tango, Whiskey Tango 2 heavy with you, descending to flight level 130 to 3,000 feet. My God, that was
Postman
bad.
Whiskey Tango to heavy, Athens arrival, information
ILS Zulu, thank you.
Good evening, QNH 1014, expect the ILS Zulu approach, runway 03 left with the Aegina transition.
Expect ILS Zulu for runway 03 left with the EGN transition, QNH 1014, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy. Nice.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, cleared direct Aegina, cross Aegina at or above 3,000 feet, cleared ILS Zulu approach, runway 03 left.
Cleared for the ILS Zulu approach, runway 03 left, cross EGN at 3,000, Postman 0 Whiskey Tango 2 heavy.
Egypt 723, contact the Nisos Tower 136.275.
Contact Tower 136.275, Egypt 723.
Let's go for the approach checklist. Seatbelt signs are on, briefing, whatever. ECAM status checked, no blue or no pending items. Altimeters will be set below transition. Ignition to continuous relight, and landing elevation has been set. Continuous relight set. Passing 10,000 feet, external lights on.
Athens arrival, Olympic 053, passing flight level 111, descending to 6,000 feet with information whiskey.
Out. Plane needs to decel.
Olympic 053, Athens arrival, good evening, QNH 1014, expect the ILS Zulu approach, runway 03 left with the Delta Mike transition.
QNH1014, expect the ILS Zulu approach runway 03 left with the Delta Mike transition, Olympic 053.
Olympic 053, cleared direct Italy cross Italy at or above 5,000 feet, cleared ILS Zulu approach runway 03 left.
Cleared direct Italy, cross Italy at or above 5,000 feet, cleared ILS Zulu approach runway 03 left, Olympic 053.
Athens arrival, followed your 16902, passing flight level 0902, descending to 3,000 feet with information whiskey.
Volodya 16902, Athens arrival. Good evening, QNH1014, expect the ILS Zulu approach runway 03 left with the Aegina transition.
QNH1014, expect the ILS Zulu approach runway 03 left with the Aegina transition, Volodya 16902.
All aircraft be advised information X-ray now current, QNH1014.
1014. Transition here is at 090, so let's set local. X-ray. Let's read about it. Variable 2 knots, KVOC, temperature 25, QNH 1014. Pretty good. No significant weather. Look at that huge city.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 heavy, minimum approach speed.
Minimum approach speed, Postman Whiskey 2 Tango. Whiskey Tango 2, what am I doing? So minimum approach speed. And that will be 138. Let's do 140.
Athens arrival, Aegean 873, passing flight level 100. Descending to 3,000 feet with information X-ray.
Aegean 873, Athens arrival, QNH 1014, expect the ILS Zulu approach runway 03 left with the Aegina transition.
The airport.
QNH 1014, expect the ILS Zulu approach runway 03 left with the Aegina transition. Aegean 873.
Speed check, flaps 15. Slides.
Volodya 16902, cleared direct Aegina, cross Aegina at or above 3,000 feet. Cleared ILS Zulu approach runway 03 left.
Cleared direct Aegina, cross Aegina at or above 3,000 feet. Cleared ILS Zulu approach runway 03 left. Volodya 16902.
Aegean 9073, contact the Nisos Tower 136.27555.
Contact Tower 136.275, Aegean 9073.
Aegean 873, cleared direct Aegina, cross Aegina at or above 3,000 feet. Cleared ILS Zulu approach runway 03 left.
Cleared direct Aegina, cross Aegina at or above 3,000 feet. Cleared ILS Zulu approach runway 03 left, Aegean 873.
Aegean 873, reduce speed 190 knots.
Reduce speed 190 knots, Aegean 873.
Land mode. Flaps 15.
Aegean 873, resume normal speed.
Resume normal speed, Aegean 873.
Too high. Need to descend a little faster than that. Get down. Flaps 50, 30, 40. Better yet. Better set. look at that. It's pointing out to 03 right. Pretty sure that's not what I ordered. Yeah, see, right, autopilot off. I'm pretty sure I had set to 03 left. Okay, no biggie. Still make it. Correct.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, resume normal speed.
Resume normal speed, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy. Just don't have localizer yet. I'm just confirming everything. 110.5, 110.5. Not sure what the heck. I don't have my ILS info here. Wind shear. That was a wind shear if I ever seen one. I cannot change anything on here. Got everything set up. Maybe turn off nav mode. Very unstable approach. I got good reasons to do that. I'm gonna turn off the flight path factor. That's part.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, contact the Nisos Tower 136.275.
Contact tower.
Negative tower on 136.275.
Contact tower 136.275. Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy. Tower Postman Whiskey 2 Tango Heavy with you on approach runway 03 left.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, Dionysus Tower, wind variable, 2 knots, runway 03 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 03 left, Postman Whiskey 2 Tango Heavy. Not Whiskey 2 Tango, Whiskey Tango 2, I keep changing that. Yeah, it seems that it's completely ignoring the fact that I tuned the correct ILS approach, but because I've not set it up correctly on the FMC, it's not giving me any signal, which doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all, because it's tuned, it's a manual tune that we need to perform on this plane. So what gives? And right about now, this is where I needed a second pair of hands to retune the correct station there and make sure that we got everything set up. But since I don't have that luxury, I'm going to perform this land manually, this landing.
Approaching 03 left.
Confirm 03 left. And even in the MDA is incorrect because the decision height is set on -5, which should be the case. 500 check.
700.
So minimum's at 200. Because MDA is messed up.
200.
Check.
100. 60, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
There we go. Idle thrust. Reverse. That's it. Focus, I forgot. Reverse set. Both engines. Rev. Let's exit here. Alpha Tango.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, exit right at Alpha 13.
Left at the right at Alpha 13, Postman Whiskey 2 Tango Heavy. Not again. Reverse off. Auto brake off. Reverse. Unlinked.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, contact ground 121.755.
121.755, Postman Whiskey Tango 2. Yep. Now I got it. Ground, Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy. Request taxi to assigned cargo ramp.
Postman Whiskey Tango 2 Heavy, taxi to cargo Alpha 50 via Alpha 11 Alpha Zulu, Hotel Golf.
Taxi to Alpha 50 to via Alpha 11 Alpha Zulu Hotel Golf. Postman Whiskey 2 Tango Heavy. Whiskey Tango 2, come on. Let's pick up the airport charts here. So where we are, we need to go via Alpha, then Alpha 11 right here, then off to Zulu, so right hand turn to Zulu, and then Golf to the cargo apron right here. Alright, so we're going to make a right hand turn, then another right hand turn. We just landed on low, and it just heats up like crazy. Start up here. So we are now crossing here, then we'll turn left immediately at Zulu. Yeah, 375 degrees on the brakes. That's way too much for a low brake, auto brake. It was crazy. Definitely crazy. And yeah, my approach wasn't the best today, but hey, we landed. The weather was nice. Everything was calm. If not, I would just go around and prepare the landing again. price on that hotel, man. APU is available. So cancel this. Are low-cost airlines, except Lufthansa, Transavia, Lauda, Croatia, these are all low costs. So we are expecting cargo Alpha 50. Let's see if that's what we got. Yes.
Volunteer 169.2, taxi to stand Bravo 5 via Alpha 10 Alpha Zulu Hotel, Papa Echo Charlie 1 Charlie Echo.
Taxi to stand Bravo 5 via Alpha 10 Alpha Zulu Hotel Papa Echo Charlie 1 Charlie Echo Volunteer 169.2.
Oh my god, a marshaller is behind those fences. I can still see him. That's the cargo area right there. Why wouldn't we sit there?
HN 873, taxi to stand SW9er via Alpha 10 Alpha Zulu Hotel Golf Charlie.
Taxi to stand SW9er via Alpha 10 Alpha Zulu Hotel Golf Charlie, HN 873.
And everything's set. Cut off 2, cut off 1. Done. Yeah, we should be on that other side over there. That's the cargo area for DHL, so misplaced parking there, no biggie. We'll keep on the brake fans. Continuous relight to off. We should have turned that on earlier. Looking good, so let's turn these off. Leave everything off except that one. Done. So oxygen supply off. CVR.
Engine 873, hold position for traffic.
Hold position for traffic, Engine
Okay.
873.
Parking checklist,
Engine
no light is
873, continue
off.
taxi.
Parking light,
taxi,
parking
engine
lights on,
873.
fuel lead is on, engine fuel lever is off, beacon is off. Cabin pressure check, no need to check that right now. Seatbelt signs to off. Window and probe heat are off. IRS is set to be done. Brake fans are on. And that's it. Welcome to Athens. Let's just tell GSX to unload the aircraft and we'll go outside and watch it.
Boarding requested.
Alright guys, that was the end. Oh, that was the end of leg 2 of our flight today out of Milan, Malpensa to Athens in Greece. It was a very uneventful flight overall, but unfortunately on the arrival I've made the mistake, but I'm not sure. I need to review what I've done. I'm pretty sure I reselected runway 03 left, but maybe I forgot. Maybe I just thought I did and set it up on EFB, and oh my god, this is a bug. This happens quite a lot on this plane. Give me a second here. So for some reason the doors don't disarm when open, so disarm, and now we need to go here to the settings. Yeah, let's remove. And this is turned on, but it's not working. So I'm pretty sure there's a way to reset the brake temperatures as well. Oh my god, okay, stand by. Jesus. That's chokes, that's GPU, open wing cargo doors. So let's see, there's still, that front door still has the, oh my god, how do you do that? There's an option here to reset the sliders, but I think it only works with the passenger plane. Yeah, it only works with the passenger plane apparently. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to live with that. It doesn't look good, but that's about it. It's just not looking good, that's all. Yeah, this happens because even though you just watch, I have the automatic arm disarm, arming and disarming of the doors, but this is a temperamental plane, so this is yet another bug. So even though I've had it automatically arm and disarm, it was still armed when the door was open. So not a good sign here for Inibuilds. They really need to update this plane urgently. But anyway, we got here in one piece, and look at those flaming hot brakes. Auto brake on low. Still got the lava-like brakes in there. They're running cool now. They're cooling down with the brake fins, but still. That was leg 2, and next leg, I think you guys have seen it already. We are going to fly out of Athens to Tel Aviv. We're going to take an El Al flight from Athens to Tel Aviv, effectively leaving Europe, and we will not be returning to Europe until we at our final leg. So guys, this was leg 2 out of planned. This is planned, and we might still change. Out of 17 planned legs. So it may be less. I'm going to try my best to reduce the number of legs, but by reducing the number of legs I need to increase the flight time, so it's a trade-off. We'll see. if not 17 legs at minimum. And I want to do this slowly and steadily. I don't want to rush it. I don't want to do stuff like I did today, like forcing the landing, but I was honestly taken aback with that little bug. Well, maybe not a bug. Maybe I did make a mistake on the FMS. I'll assume it was my mistake. So I was a little overstressed, but still, I was on the flight path. I was on the glide path. I was on the speed. It felt good. I had perfectly visual with the airport. Maybe I didn't follow ILS procedures that well, but there was a little bug on the plane when I was tuned in with the ILS and the course in it. It still didn't pick it up. Why? I don't know. It's weird. Apparently, had I chosen the correct ILS approach frequency for 03 right, I would have gotten the ILS tuned in. It doesn't make sense. It's a radio, and it's manually tuned in. Why was it hard-coded to 03 right? I'm not sure. Another bug, probably. I'll probably not mention it to Inibuilds because it's a very fringe case, but who knows? Maybe. I'll see. We'll see. Anyway, guys, this was very pleasant to have you all here. Drexy already left, but he was here from the start. Andrew, thank you so much for coming. If you're still there, guys, leave a like, subscribe, donate. Stay tuned for leg 3 out of Athens to Tel Aviv in an El Al flight. And thank you all for coming. Hope to see you soon. Remember, leave a like, subscribe, share with your friends, and as always, there's a buy me a coffee link in the description if you want to help as well financially. Every money that I've been received will be reused to purchase new add-ons in the future. That includes airplanes as well as Simbrief. And apparently GSX is stuck. So it's probably waiting for the card. The card is here. Am I interrupting operations? I don't think I am. I don't think he even knows I'm here. Look at that. What's that? That's a Turkish Airlines A350. No, that's an A330. Yeah, that car is just, or is it a 777? I don't know, one of those. Yeah, the cart's just stuck, and the crates can't be unloaded. These ones are working correctly though. Yeah, these ones are working, but not that one. That one's stuck. Hey, Service Update 6 appears to have brought a lot of issues to Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, so expect these kinds of things to be corrected in the next few days. But until then, I'll see you guys next time, and like I always say, you guys know what I'm going to say, right? I need to come up with a few new catchphrases or something. I've seen a lot of channels that do have those catchphrases. I don't. I usually say pretty much the same thing. Yeah, there's always a blue sky up there, even though you might feel blue today and the weather is tough. But remember that above the clouds, it's always sunny, or at night, it's always a moonlight up. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun, no limits when the dreams begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun, no limits when the dreams begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soared into the light. I'll spread my wings, no limits when you drop it. World below fades out of sight as I soar into the
All aircraft be advised, information Yankee now current, QNH 1014.